Yo, what's up guys, Ninkey here. People have been asking me a lot of questions about the new build I've been going, so I decided to make a video explaining it. Pretty much last week, I dropped like 400 LP across both my accounts in a couple of days, and I decided it was time to make a bunch of changes, so I'll explain each one. First, I'm taking Flash pretty much every game now. I'm going Flash TP. I've had quite a few junglers and asked them why they always camp Gwen top lane. The reason they provide is always TP Ignite. They say, oh, no Flash top lane or 3K. So they literally do 1 camp gank, 2 camp gank, 3 camp gank top lane, and then there's literally no counterplay for Gwen. I decided to take Flash, so I'm a lot more safe early game and junglers can gank me, and I'll still survive the game. Also, Flash actually combos pretty well with a lot of Gwen's kit. You can do Q Flash, you can do R Flash, and also if you have your W down and you flash, it moves it like the same distance with you. So Flash is actually not bad on Gwen. It's also like useful in general to flash important abilities like an Urgot E or like a Fiora W or Camille E, something like that. Alright, and second, the runes. I used to always go Triple Tonic plus Cosmic Insight, but that was mainly for the Ignite cooldown, and since I'm not going Ignite anymore, I'm going Flash TP. I'm going Resolve Secondary, Conditioning Overgrowth, and this is mainly because it synergizes well with Riftmaker, which I'm going to get to next. But I still do run Cosmic Insight sometimes. Oh, and also if you're wondering about Demolish isn't that bad early, but it falls off super hard. It ends up being like less damage than just the normal Gwen basic. And I'll swap out Bone Plating for Conditioning sometimes based on the matchup versus like Renekton or Jax. Alright, and third, the most controversial thing, I started building Riftmaker first item literally every game. At first I started doing this as a joke, but honestly the more I started building Riftmaker, this item is actually genuinely broken. The tankiness and sustain Riftmaker gives you is crazy. I've been making plays that I never could have imagined making with Nash's tooth. The components also feel a lot nicer in lane. And a lot of people say, oh, well if Riftmaker is good, then why don't you just build Riftmaker and Nash's in the same build? But the problem with that is that you miss Shadow Flame. Shadow Flame is a core second item on Gwen. And delaying it to third by building Rift and Nashers, it spikes really badly. And most games aren't really going to make it past 2 or 3 items. And then a 2 item spike Rift Nashers just feels really underwhelming compared to Rift Shadow Flame or Nashers Shadow Flame or Lichbane Shadow Flame. So but yeah, as of right now, every matchup I've played Riftmaker first item into has felt amazing. I haven't found a single bad matchup. But if I do find one, I'll get back to you guys on that. One thing I will admit though is that building Nash's Tooth first item is super snowbally. If you're smurfing, you're trying to like hyper carry games, Nash's Tooth does feel a bit better. Even at the beginning of the season, I was saying to go this build with Riftmaker first. A lot of people said they didn't like playing without Nashers, and I left it as, oh, it's just up to preference. If you like Riftmaker, you can get it first. If you like Nashers, you can get it first. It just depends on how you're feeling or how you like playing. But yeah, Nashers is more for split push, Riftmaker is more for fighting and skirmishes. And people thought that Nash's Tooth would be more damage, but actually if you can stack up Riftmaker damage, if you stack up the Riftmaker passive and enter the fight, you actually do so much more damage than Nashers. The only reason I hated Riftmaker before was because the Nashers Riftmaker build from last split just became terrible, so ever since then I just didn't like building Riftmaker. I preferred Nashers more. With Riftmaker, you get to get all of your damage off. You don't get one shot anymore. So the new build I'm going, Riftmaker, Shadow Flame, Void Staff, Rabadons, and then 5th item up for preference, usually Lichbane Zanya, something like that. The boots hasn't really changed much, but I'm leaning more towards steel caps. Whenever I get the chance, I build them. The Nash's Tooth build isn't dead or anything. It's just like, I've been experimenting with this and it turns out to not be terrible. Also, I'm thinking that next season it's going to lean more towards like a tanky build with a new AP Black Cleaver. Maybe Riftmaker, AP Black Cleaver, then like Abyssal Mask, I don't know. But I think next season we're going to be building Riftmaker more anyways. So I'm going to keep building this till the season ends, but I'll make another guide next split once I find out what the correct build is. But until then, see you guys.